time for Nerdgasm.
Hey, what's up guys? Jerry here, aka Barnacules, and welcome to my weekly accountability vlog that I'm doing to track my health and lifestyle changes, to try to get myself back to a human that can go outside and do things instead of a guy that just sits inside and talks about going outside and doing things. So this officially is the end of week 2 now that I've been on a diet and that I've been exercising, and so far I've gone from 298 pounds is my original weigh-in all the way down to 289 pounds, with my lowest weight being 287. I've actually been fluctuating right around that 287 to 290 mark, and I'll tell you why. Well, recently I started a gym membership at a local gym that I have here in my town, and it's actually a nice little quaint gym. It's not a part of any kind of chain of gyms or anything like that. It's just a little small town gym, and they have all the equipment that I want to work with, including free weights. And it's a very nice place to go and work out during the day because there's not a lot of people there. So another big perk of the gym is that it's 1.5 miles straight down a hill. If you guys watch my Periscope streams that I do about 3 or 4 times a week, I'm walking down that hill. Now when I get to the bottom of that hill and I get to the gym, my lower body is pretty well worked from going down the hill. So then I do my upper body workout for about a half an hour, and then when I leave the gym, I have to hoof it all the way back up that 1.5 mile hill to get back home. So it's like dangling a carrot in front of my face. I don't feel like I can do it every single time I start, but somehow at the end I always manage at the top of the hill and I'm back home, which is fantastic. Now, as far as my fitness level right now, I can tell you I haven't felt this good in a very, very long time. I've only been to the gym twice for weightlifting, and I way overdid it. The first time that I went about a week ago. I mean, I overdid it and then some. For the next 3 days, I was literally just bunched up in a ball. I couldn't even hold the weight of a glass of water. And at one point, I even thought that I may have seriously damaged something. So anyways, I let about 3 days go by over the weekend, and it slowly got better, but I was still pretty sore. So I went ahead and walked down to the gym and worked out anyways, even though I was a little sore, and I actually felt better afterwards. So I went ahead and rolled with it. The next day is today. That was yesterday that I worked out, and my muscles are all very sore, but I can actually move, which is a huge improvement on that first day, and that makes me feel a lot better about continuing with the weightlifting. Now, of course, because I'm lifting weights and because I'm exercising every day, walking up and down this hill, I'm going to be building muscle. And because I'm building muscle, that is going to slow my overall weight loss in the beginning, but it's going to accelerate it in the long run, because the more muscle I have, the more resting calories I'm going to burn. And even with all this exercise and everything I'm doing, the majority of my life is still pretty sedentary because I sit down and edit videos for hours or shoot videos like this. And other than moving my arms around like this while I do my video, I'm not really getting any tangible exercise. Now, so far the depression has actually been doing pretty good. I've had a couple bad days still throughout the week, but I think I finally came to the conclusion that I don't want to go to the doctor and get medicated again. I know in my last video I was talking about how I was thinking about going to the doctor and seeing if he could get me back on some kind of antidepressants or something like that to help take the edge off. But to be honest, since I've been exercising and since I've been eating a lot better, and just to let you guys know, I'll talk a little bit about my diet and what I'm doing here in a minute, but I feel fantastic, and that's actually been contributing to my happiness. I've been a much happier person. My wife's even noticed it. A lot of people have been messaging me saying that my video encouraged them, and that's been hugely uplifting to me. And overall, I haven't had nearly as many lows, and those lows that I've experienced haven't been rock bottom, and I was able to pull out of them. So I feel like at this stage I should try to stay away from medication and see if getting my health back might actually contribute to some of that depression going away, or at least for me to be able to control it. Because let's be honest, I'm a goofball. When I'm really happy, I am super really happy. And I would like to stay that way. And unfortunately, anytime you take some kind of a drug that helps with depression, at least in my experience with the Lexapro when I was on it, is it tends to it drops the happiness down a couple pegs too. So you never really hit those really highs, but it keeps you out of the lows, which is great if you're in a horrible situation that mandates it. But I still think I have enough highs that I can just keep the ball rolling the way it is. Now, let me talk a little bit about my diet, guys. What I've been eating, and a lot of people may not agree with my diet because it's not really any diet that exists. It's kind of something that I made up, combining a whole bunch of other diets to get something that I could stick with. Because ultimately, the most important diet that you can be on that you're going to stick to is just that, the one that you stick to. If you're on a diet you can't handle and you're always craving something, it's not going to last no matter what. And then when you finally do crash, you're going to go back and make up for all that time lost, and you're going to gain that weight back. And I know this from personal experience because I've gone through 2 major weight losses in my life since I was younger, in my teenage years. And both times I did just that. I got into shape by having a shitty diet, like a completely shitty diet. Like one of the times I even ate Cheerios and non-fat milk for a month. Lost a shitload of weight, but at the end of that month, all I could think about was deep dish pizza for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I mean, it was absolutely horrible. So my diet consists of waking up in the morning and my wife makes me a shake. It's actually more of a smoothie, and it contains fruit, spinach, and some protein powder, because protein is really important, especially if you're out getting exercise and stuff like that. You need protein. Because I'm participating in weightlifting, you tear a lot of muscle, so it's really important to have a lot of protein and fat in your diet. So, which might seem counterintuitive being a big guy like I already am. Why would I want to introduce more fat into my diet? Well, as long as you're building muscle, those things are good for you. So what I do in the morning is I have the shake. It's about a 16 or 20 ounce smoothie, and I drink that up, and it's actually incredibly filling. The protein powder is what makes it filling. If you've had a smoothie before, add a scoop of protein powder to it, and you literally won't get hungry for like 4 hours. It's absolutely amazing. Then around lunchtime when I get hungry, I usually have a salad and I put some kind of meat on it. So I have lettuce, I have some tomatoes, I put a vinaigrette dressing on it, very, very little, and I put something like chicken breast on it, or even salmon if I have it. And then I have that for lunch, and then sometimes I'll have a piece of fruit with it or another vegetable. I'll have like an avocado or a banana or something with it. Now, when dinner rolls around, which could be any time between 6 and 9, I still haven't been really good about not eating my dinner late at night, but unfortunately, because of what I do and what my family does and syncing up and everything, sometimes we just can't get that dinner thing locked down at a specific time. But for dinner, what I'm eating is steak. Steak is what I'm eating for dinner. I'm literally having a big old steak, which is delicious. And it literally just has salt and pepper on it. No crazy stuff on it, just salt and pepper seasoning. And in addition to that, I'm having a big old heap and pile of simulated mashed potatoes. Now, it's not for everybody, but I've completely become addicted to it after eating it for 2 weeks. You basically take cauliflower, boil it or steam it, blend it up, add a couple little herbs and spices to it, and you basically get the consistency of mashed potatoes, but it still tastes like cauliflower. So I don't recommend eating it by itself if you're a potato aficionado like myself, but what I do is I put it on top of the steak, because I always like cutting a piece of steak, smothering it in potatoes and stuffing it in my eater hole here. So I go ahead and put the cauliflower mashed potatoes on there, and the texture just tricks my brain into thinking I'm eating mashed potatoes, and it becomes a very filling meal. And rarely do I get hungry at night, but before I go to bed, if I get absolutely starving or my stomach just feels like, oh man, I really don't want to go to sleep because I'm that hungry, then what I do is I go eat a couple dill pickles, because dill pickles are like zero. There is like nothing in them. Now, there are some dill pickle brines that have a lot of carbs in them, so you got to check, but the ones I use I think are like Vlasic or something like that, and you look on the back, it's 0 calories. Now, the sodium's pretty high, so if you have high blood pressure, that might not be an option, but I have, whenever I go get a physical, all my numbers are perfect, so I don't have to worry about avoiding cholesterol or avoiding salt or anything like that right now in my current state, and I hope I never will have to, since I'm losing weight and getting into shape. Now, overall, I think things couldn't be going better. I can't believe that I've been doing this for 2 weeks, and I feel like I finally settled into a routine. It doesn't feel like when I wake up every single morning that I want to go and have like a cheeseburger for lunch. Now, don't get me wrong, if I catch a whiff of something my son's eating, or I'm out driving around and I have the window down and I smell a burger place or a pizza place, I still, and my body still wants that stuff. So the way that I deal with that, guys, is every Sunday I have a cheat meal. It was going to be a cheat day, but I figured, no, a cheat day is going to turn into like a cheat week if I'm not careful, or I'm going to eat more calories in that one day than I ever ate before in the last 7 days. I'll find a way to do it, trust me, guys. So what I ended up doing is having a cheat meal. So what I do is I still have my smoothie for breakfast. I still have a very, very healthy lunch. Now, a filling lunch, because you don't want to leave yourself hungry. If you're hungry all the time, the diet's going to fail. I guarantee it. And then what I do for dinner is I pick takeout from some place that I want. Like this Sunday, for instance, we had Indian food. We ordered tikka masala and buttered chicken with jasmine rice and some naan bread. So not a terribly unhealthy meal, but I still ate quite a bit of a huge portion of it. Now, this thing serves 2 purposes. One, it kills all your cravings. You don't crave like a cheat meal as bad for the rest of the week. It resets that. At least that's what it does for me. And because I know that there's another cheat meal on the horizon on Sunday, I can focus on getting towards that cheat meal and not trying to cheat and break myself before, so I don't try to justify cheating in between. I know I'm going to get that meal, and I know it's going to be an epic meal. Now, the second unintended purpose that it served, guys, was it actually made me ill. This is the second week now. So last week, my cheat meal was, or not this last Sunday, but the Sunday before it, my cheat meal was Mexican. And I ate nachos with cheese on it and something called chicken a la creme. And I literally had the worst gas pains I've ever had in my life. It's like my body forgot how to process cheese, and I was literally just falling to pieces. I almost didn't get to sleep that night because I had such bad gastrointestinal pain. It was insane. I've never had that before eating Mexican food. My body was perfectly good with it, but after eating a whole week of focusing on protein and low carbs, my body's like, oh, we done adjusted and we don't do that anymore. I still loved the cheat meal, but the consequences scared me away from it enough that I'm not craving it all week. Same damn thing happened with Indian. I love Indian food. It's probably like one of my favorite, like my top three. It'd probably be like Chinese, followed by Mexican, followed by Indian. And so I was super excited to get this meal. I ate a whole bunch. Again, I ate way too much of it. I ate like 2 full pieces of naan bread. I ate a bunch of tikka masala, a bunch of buttered chicken. And I literally, that night before I went to bed, had like the total Hershey squirts. Like we're talking epic poop nap proportions here, folks. It was horrible. Again, my body did not like it. I woke up in the morning feeling like absolute shit. I was all dried out. My mouth was dried out. My lips were dried out. My muscles and shit hurt. I mean, it was bad. It's like my body doesn't understand how to process a big meal anymore. And this is a great thing. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to have the cheat meal, because I'm willing to pay for it to have that cheat meal, because I love food. But at the same time, it puts me off enough after I have the cheat meal that it takes me a whole nother week to forget about the distress it caused me before I have another one. I know that might sound really, really weird, but it seems to be hugely successful, and it's keeping me on diet and exercise. And my energy level is way higher, as you guys can probably tell from this video. I actually have a lot more energy, and I drink black coffee throughout the day because I still like the caffeine and I crave the caffeine, and I don't really see any plausible reason to give it up. I quite enjoy it, and if you give up everything good in your life, well then what's the point of living? Honestly, I wouldn't have given up food at all if it wasn't for the fact that I got so big I can't even exercise to burn off the food that I want to intake. So that's part of the reason for this, is I'd like to get myself down to a weight. 250 is my first goal, but I may even keep going after that. And I want to get myself to a weight where I can go out and mountain bike, and I can go out and paintball, and I can go out and snowboard and do all the things that I love to do just a year ago before I gained all this weight. I want to get back to that, because if I'm doing those activities, then it's okay for me to go out and have a burger beforehand. It's okay for me to go out and have pizza with friends if we're going and like shredding the side of a mountain up at like Stevens Pass in Washington, snowboarding at night. I mean, those things then make sense, but it doesn't make sense for me to have all of those things if I'm literally just sitting and letting it just add on to my mass. And the other thing, guys, is I've been feeling incredibly strong. I've only been to the gym twice now, but like I said, that first time I really tore my muscles a new ass. I started taking glucosamine and potassium and a lot of other vitamins to just kind of help mend my muscles faster. And it seems like it's adding a little bit, but it's not super noticeable. But the one thing I did notice today is my son Xander ran up to me, and I reached over the top of him, I grabbed his back legs, and I lifted him up, and I put his legs on the ceiling. And he's about 5 years old, right around 40 pounds. And I picked him up and put him on the ceiling, and I tried to do that before, but my arms shake horribly when I do it. Today I did it, and I put him on the ceiling. I didn't feel like I was strained at all. Even with my muscle pain from just working out yesterday, there was like no strain. So I picked him up by his legs, and I just started benching him. I did 20 reps like this, just touching his feet to the ceiling. I couldn't have done that last week. Absolutely couldn't have done that last week. So all the protein that I'm eating, and even just the few workouts that I've already done, have already paid off. I already feel like they've instilled enough confidence in me to keep going on this diet and keep getting to that goal. And you guys have been hugely inspiring me. I know I haven't responded to a lot of your emails because I am literally getting flooded with them, but I am reading as many as I can. And you guys have been sending me the most awesome stories about how you guys have tried to better yourselves the same way, and that I've helped you in some way. And what I want to tell you guys is that you've actually helped me far more than I could have ever helped you. The fact of the matter is, if I wasn't holding myself accountable by making these videos every week and knowing that I had to sit down in front of a camera and say how I'm doing and talk about when I have a cheat meal or when something goes wrong, if those liabilities weren't there, I would be way more likely to fall off the diet and cheat, especially when I get into those depressive lows where I just want to give up. But every time I want to give up, I just think about, If I give up, I not only let myself down, I let all you guys down. And I'm not willing to do that. So guys, I'm not going to let this run any longer because I just looked down and it looks like we're almost at 15 minutes of recording time. Wow, for a vlog, that is crazy. Actually, not really. My other vlogs are super long. But I'm getting ready to go out to dinner right now with Luke from Linus Tech Tips and Timmy Tech TV. And who knows, maybe even that Logan guy from Tech Syndicate will eventually show up. We'll see. And I don't know if anybody's going to be taking pictures or streaming any of it, and I don't really care because I just want to go hang out with my friends. I love those guys. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this vlog update. Expect another one next week. And if you guys have any questions, as always, come over to Twitter. I am at Barnacules. Also, please leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think about what I'm doing. Offer advice. Don't be a dick. If you're a dick, I'm just going to ban you because I don't need dicks in my life. Well, I need one dick in my life, and it's right there. But that's it. I don't need any more dicks. Just one. And maybe a Dick's Burger, because Dick's Burgers are good. But only as a cheat meal. Anyways, that's enough talk about dicks. Till next time.
Do it! Yes, you can! Just do it!
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please take a moment and subscribe to my channel. It helps me a lot. Also, come over to Twitter. I'm at Barnacules. I'm a real social guy. Also, if you have a couple of minutes, check out some of these many other videos. I made them myself.